All right. Hey, welcome in, everybody. So we got Giovanni came in. What did you say? Is this? It says 9:57. Was that this morning? 9:57 a.m. Dude. Now it's 6:01, and we got Nick in short second after that. How's it going, guys? Ooh, well, this has been a very stressful couple of weeks. Not because of the project, but because of what's going on in my professional life. I hinted at it during one of George's live streams. Anyway, and I don't think my employers will see this video, so I'm hoping they don't because I haven't told them yet. But Nick says, "What up, Mike?" I'm about to tell you. So I've been toying with the idea of changing jobs, and I've had to go through the most grueling set of interviews that I've ever done. I've never had to do multiple interviews like that. Usually in my profession, it's one and done, but this was three separate interviews. First one was a phone, then an in-person, and then I had to do a PowerPoint presentation for three other supervisors. Yeah. So I was very nervous, and it was very difficult, but I found out today I got the job. So it's all good. So we got some celebrating to do. But at first, anyway, that I'm letting you know that because tonight's show is probably going to be cut short a little bit, maybe like an hour, not so much an hour and a half. And yeah, so because I got some celebrating to do. And then next week, I'll let everybody know at work, what's going on. So because I've got to make my exit. I don't burn bridges. Thank you, sir. Thanks, Nick. I appreciate that. I don't burn bridges, so I will be, of course, doing the traditional 2-week notice unless they cut me loose early, but we'll see. But I've got my son flying up here in a couple of weeks so I can be introduced to the granddaughter I have not met yet. And that's another cool thing, and I wasn't going to miss that. And so, fortunately, my new employers have been very gracious in letting me take the time I need to spend time with her and my son and his wife, and then we'll go to work next month. So, anyway, we'll be finishing out my Subaru career in a couple weeks here, and then I will be going to Rivian for a new position, no longer wrenching. I'm not going to be killing my body every day turning wrenches. So it's going to be a supervisor position, supervising 10 technicians and as a production supervisor. So it's exciting. It's a little scary, but it should be a little bit less taxing on my body, especially after all these years of that I've done this. With that being said, I may have to adjust the starting time for the live stream. I know for some of you East Coast guys, in particular, even Nick in Texas, it can be a little difficult sometimes to get on this live stream because it is later, a lot later for you guys. So if I do, I might, because I'm going to be working a little further away from work, so our home is a little further away from home, so I'm going to have to be on the road a little bit more. So typically I should be okay, maybe 6, but I'd rather not be rolling in right when it's time to start the live stream. So I may push it back to, say, 6:30 start time, just a little bit different. But we'll see. We'll play it by ear. I've checked the drive times. It's about a 100-mile round trip. So it depends on traffic, of course. I mean, there's been times where I've come from my current job, and thanks, Nick. Again, I appreciate it. There's been times where I've come from my current job, and even though it's only 43 miles away, it's still sometimes if there's an accident or something, it just takes its toll. So I've been stressing about that because of all the different processes I've had to go through. And then, of course, there's a stupid little bug going around the shop, and everybody's been sick. And I'm fighting with this fluid in my ears. You can see me tugging on my ears. So sometimes it's a little harder to keep talking for long periods of time. My throat gets a little scratchy. I might even sound a little froggy right now and a little stuffed up because it's true. I am. But anyway, I'm I wasn't sure if I was going to share that or not, because I do have employers that I don't think they watch my videos. I know I've got them on Facebook, but I doubt they watch any of this stuff. So not too worried about it. But at any rate, I've got, if I get the time off, I get the time off. If I got extra time off, that's just a benefit for me. So anyway, let's get started. This photo etch is going to be fun, trying to get it to fit into this body. I started doing some of the pre-folding of that main body unit, and I'm going to go down to the camera here, and you'll see what's going on here. This piece is what we were pretty much worked on a lot of last week, and this is the inside of it, the interior, and this is the part that will be not visible inside the structure here. You can see this is the two halves of the body put together. Somehow this is supposed to fit in here. Yeah, and so if I go along these fold lines and try to get it to squeeze down into that narrow passage there between the cockpit and the loading ramp, it seems like these back panels don't want to line up. Like they have to go together too far because I started gluing them on the lines, with where the separation was, and I found out really quickly that will not work necessarily, or I'm going to have to just kind of piece these together and glue them as we go, because obviously the angles that it seems like they should be bent to are not quite what is going to be required to get it to fit in here. So that's going to be a really challenging part. All the resin pieces and like the seats and those nodules that go inside the receivers for these wings and stuff like that, all that stuff's on skewers, ready to go for primer. I've done some of the seats here. These are some of the jump seats. I started folding up. I've got to glue those together so we can do those tonight. And then maybe cutting out a lot of the seat belts. So I was going to do the landing gear, like the exterior. There's a whole other set here of stuff for the exterior, mostly the landing gear. But there's some seams that I have to probably address first when I'm putting this together before I can glue those photo etch pieces on, because they literally go right down the center, and there's a seam up here. So I think I need to, unless it gets covered up. If it gets covered up, then I'll just go ahead and put the photo etch on and not worry about it. But I just want to make sure that I don't shoot myself in the foot there by installing that photo etch and then realizing I have to separate these pieces for some odd reason. As it is, I think I'm going to have to swap over some of the arms for the closed landing gear, because in order for the position I need everything in the cockpit flying, it's supposed to be flying, but the ramp has to be down, but the gear I think is folded in. So I'll actually be swapping some of the pieces from this piece to this piece to make that happen. But I haven't had time to tear that apart and see if they're actually, I think everything should line up just fine. The only real difference between the legs is that these are folded in. They fit the same exact peg holes. It's just the angle is in a different position. Instead of being open, they're just closed. So I think if I take these, swap them over to this side, because the real main difference is the bend in the ramp. You can see like this has a tilted down ramp, whereas this is tilted up because it's supposed to be fully closed. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So with this piece, like if you take the body here, this kind of goes in somewhere, actually right about like this. Okay, so you've got the ramp going down, and then even the legs are kind of tilted down. Whereas this one, with the landing gear closed, it fits up in here kind of like this and covers up that whole rear area. But what we want is we want the gear up like this, but we need the ramp down so we can see all that interior stuff from the back. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I think it should be fine. I just haven't done it. And unfortunately, a lot of the pictures of this photo etch stuff that they took, I don't know where they made these drawings, but some of them are very obscure, weird angles, and it's difficult. It doesn't really give you any indication of exactly how everything's supposed to be put together. It just says, here's where you stick the photo etch and go for it. And then you just assemble the kit. Well, it's not that simple, So anyway, I'm going to move this aside because I'm not going to really do much else with this tonight, because I need to prime it, paint it. I was just trying to get some of the bends down where they should be before I did the metal prep on it and did the primer. So like I said, this has been a real busy couple of weeks, and I mean, the company moves really fast. They are trying to get this whole thing done super fast. So I have been on the phone. I've been on, answering emails. I've been doing, phone interviews, and then I did a Zoom call. That was with the three. I had to do the PowerPoint presentation or a Zoom call. So I'm just exhausted, and plus being sick doesn't help either. So we're just gonna chill, do some photo etch for about an hour or so, and then call it a night. So let's get down to the close up here. So these are the, oops, this one keeps popping off, and I know where it comes from because it's always, well, maybe not. I thought it was on that foot, but maybe it's on this one. Where did this come from? It's one of these pads that goes on the bottom. Oh, it's not there. It must be this one. Unless they both fell off. Oh, yeah, there it is. Couldn't see it. I gotta get my mags on here. So I didn't glue any of this stuff, so that's why some of the stuff keeps kind of popping off. But this is just one of the little skid pads there that goes on the back. And there's another set of them here. There's 4 of each of these because you got the open gear and the closed gear. So these little guys are what we've got here. These are these little jump seats. There's only 4 in the photo etch set because there's really only 4 that'll fit, even though in reality, if you look at the interior cross-reference photographs that I found online, there's 6 of these seats, 3 on each side. But oh, what's up, Julius? How you doing, man? Good to see you. So there's only going to be 4, and because, like I said, there's really no room for all 6 of them, even though the resin pieces that came, these little arches here, these are resin and the rest is photo etch. The kit came with 6 of these, but there's only 4 seats, so there's only 4 of these to fold up. So this is actually multiple layer photo etch. You had to fold it in half and then fold the sides up. Little complex. It's kind of tricky to get it to fold properly when you fold something together and then you've got to do another bend. The pieces don't want to line up after you make the bend because obviously one's on the inside of that radius, the other's going around the outside. So it was a little tricky, but really the only thing left is to put the bottoms on, the seat bottoms on, so they're either going to be open or closed. I think I'm going to put them, I don't know. In the movie, they take on passengers, so they're all sitting in these seats. So I may end up putting them in the open position. It'll probably be easier for me too to do the seat belts later if they are open, because if they're folded up, the seat belts have to go behind the seat bottom. But if I leave them in this position here, then I can just lay the seat belts down. I can do the seat belts at any time. I just don't want to cut a bunch of these strips out and try to keep track of all of them. It's kind of a pain in the butt. But there's so many seat belts. There's there's what, 4 per seat? Yeah, well, there's 4 per seat, but then each one of them has to be folded in half. It multiplies all the layers of you have to bend, and it's becoming a challenge as far as photo etch goes. And then, speaking of photo etch, I've been looking into other models that, because I bought this from, this whole kit came from, what was that? What was that website? I know once I see it, I'm going to go, oh yeah. Let me find it on my phone real quick. Squadron. Squadron.com. They've got this gigantic photo etch set for the AMT Razor Crest from the Mandalorian. And I'm just looking at that going, man, it looks so cool. It's so expensive. Oh my God, it's expensive. But, speaking of expensive things, a while back, you might have remembered we were talking about, in fact, somebody in this room, I don't know, Julius, was it you? Did you buy the O from USA Gun Store? Or was it Nick? Somebody bought one, and they got theirs like in October. I waited an entire year, still never got it. I finally just asked them for a refund. I said, I'm done. You guys have, come on. It's just ridiculous. How can you, over order or over pre-order something. If you're going to pre-order something, you got to limit it to how many you know is available. When you don't do that, then you got people like myself who are standing there going, well, this guy just got his. He ordered his on the same day, and he got it months ahead of time. Yeah, you bought it, received it. Yeah, see, I didn't get mine. I never got it. Just asked them for a refund, so I'm done. So these are supposed to go something like this. I'm going to try to hold this so you can see it. But this seat bottom is got to attach kind of where these two little notches are. Something, yeah, it's not going to look right, but something like that. It's not straight, but so the seat's down, and you've got a little tiny metal, folding cushion. So this is going to, so I'm going to bend these in a little bit more just so they have a little bit of tension there, and they'll hold it in position so I can glue it properly. I think that's probably best. I'll have them in the down position. That way they look like they're ready for passengers. And if it squeezes tight enough, like because I bent those tabs in, so now it will kind of hold its place. So it should look kind of like that. See that? There. The cushion, and this cushion's not see-through. It just got lines in it. I'm not sure what that's for. So let me get my PE glue out here. Do you want to buy mine? No, that's not. I did get my refund already. It's already in my bank. At least they were quick about that. As soon as I told them, I said, you know what? I think it's time for a refund. You guys have dicked around long enough. I've been pretty patient, but I waited for an entire year. I mean, almost to the day. I looked at the time that I bought it. It was February 23rd, I think. I just said, I waited to that day. I was like, I'll give them 1 year, and then that's it. And sure enough, they still didn't come through. And I got another update like 2 days before I asked for a refund. Like, okay, we're still monitoring our, vendors, and we'll get it to you. And it's like, no, I'm done. I'm done waiting. I think that's the second time USA Gun Store has done that to me personally. So I'm growing tired of being let down. If you're gonna offer a pre-order, at least make sure you limit the quantities so you don't have this problem. I mean, obviously, you say if you got X amount of units, you're going to get. Why would you let people pre-order more and take their money? Because it's not like Hobby Link Japan that doesn't actually charge you until the item arrives at their location, and then they send it to you. Then they charge you for it. USA Gun Store just they'll take your money, and regardless if they got the unit or not. I mean, it does disclose that, like you're buying a pre-order, blah blah blah. But still, who knows what you do? You've already taken my money and used it to buy whatever for your company, pay your employees or whatever, but I don't still have my product. So this is going to be a little bit finicky to get these on. Just what I needed, more tedious photo etch. All right, well, let's see if we can get at least one of these done tonight. Sorry if I'm stuffed up and froggy. It's been lingering. This has been a good one. It's taken a couple of weeks. I think I mentioned last week that I was not feeling up to par, and I've had to take a couple of days off. It's been unfun to say the least about because it seems like one day I'm feeling better. Oh, crap, I just broke that fucking half. Feels like I'm on the mend, starting to recover, getting a little bit better, and then I don't do anything out of the ordinary. I just taking care of myself, taking meds, doing whatever, and then all of a sudden, just Nope, you're still going to be sick again. You thought you were feeling better. Nice try, buddy. You know. So I'm going to use this as a guide. I think this little nib here looks like that's where the hinge should be. So this seat bottom should line up with that hinge. Oh boy. I'm trying to get these to have enough tension, you know, that the piece will go on there and kind of stay on its own. I don't want to squeeze it in, you know, the parts together too much, because then it won't be a tight enough fit, and it might wobble around. So I'm trying to like find that sweet spot. So yeah, I did ask for a refund, and I got it already. So, and then I start looking at like, ooh, look at that 1/100 Cassatria. Ooh, look at that. Maybe I should do that. And that's like almost twice as much as the O was. The O was what, 160 bucks or some crap like that. That's a lot. I mean, it was one of those things, like I never been a huge, you know, in the market for the O. It was like I didn't care that I missed it one time, you know, or something like that. It was like whatever. When it said it was up for reprint, I thought, okay, you know, this might be the one time I buy this kit. But after that experience, it's like, you know, I'm not missing anything. It's not like I was dying to get the damn thing. It was just an opportunity came up. It was a reprint, and that's better. Let me get a little more glue here on the back. Oh shit! Did I do that wrong? I certainly did. Let me take that off. Ugh. I put that on backwards. Good thing I saw it, huh? Just realized these stripes here. You can see the stripes on the back of the seat bag. Come on, it's all bright. I'm trying to get it to focus. There, you can see those lines going through. Those are supposed to be on the front, and I had it facing the wrong direction. So we'll do this another time, one more time. Just when I get the back on there, or the seat bottom on there, you know, perfectly lined up, it was the wrong direction. I was talking too much. Focus on what you're doing. All right, see if we can get this back on there. Gosh darn it, I'm trying to get this to fit fairly snug. This is not easy. Let's get this lined up. If I can just get it tacked where, even though it's not fully glued, if it's just tacked on there enough, and I can apply a little more in the back and hold it. But I'm gonna have to switch to my other magnifiers because I don't think these are working out for this closer on this small, really small photo etch. Jeez. All right, we'll let that dry. Let me switch up. Let me go to my. Julia says about the MG Axis model works. Solomon 1/100 scale, Osiris Aerial Dominator, and the PG New Gunham. Nice. The PG New is really nice, but man, so much money. I mean, I can't say anything. I've spent $400 on a kit before. That wouldn't be the first time, but man, some of these PG kits are just ridiculously expensive. Like the Unleashed stuff. Oh my god, it's crazy. Get one of these over here on deck here so I can glue this real quick. Just put a dab. Oops, let's put my finger in the super glue. Good job. I'm telling you, man, it's one of those days. It's gonna be one of those nights. That one actually came out a little bit better, so I can get it straightened out. See if I can keep my finger out of the super glue this time. That's pretty good. That's two. I gotta put some more glue down since I rubbed half of it away with my freaking finger. Trying to get these to line up for these seat bottoms is not easy. There you go. That's pretty good. Trying to get just enough tension where it'll squeeze on there and still hold it in place, so it won't take much adjustment. It won't flop around while the glue sets. But trying to get that is not the easiest thing to do. I had it, but then my finger stuck. There we go. I just go back, because this won't be seen. This will be hard to see. So then I just go back on the back and give another little dab of glue there. That should secure everything nicely. I don't need to use my Insta-Set on that. That should be fine. Okay, one more. We'll see what else we're going to do next. Okay, I think I got the tension right on that. Let's try it. Ah, Dropped it. Gotta get it quick before it sets. There we go. Don't need much. That one came out the best, I think, out of all those. And hopefully they'll paint up nicely. Once the glue dries, I can use that metal prep on them, which is like another one of these VMS products. It's like a adhesion promoter for metal, so the primer and stuff will stick nicely. All right, I'm not going to do the seat belts because I think it'll just be a bunch of stuff. It's so small you wouldn't be able to see it. So I'm going to keep this page because I still got stuff to look back on. Let's see what's on this one here. So I did this. All these were finished and they're stuck on a skewer ready for primer. And this is going to be the tricky part, is getting this whole assembly to fit together. I just don't know how that's going to be possible. We'll see. All right, let me look at this page. Let's see. This was the beginning. I think I've already done this. Yep, that's all done. Seat things are done. Yep, so we can set that one aside, and then we've got this guy. So this is supposed to be where, let me move these aside here. Now that these are glued enough, get them out of the way so I don't hit them anymore. All right. So I've got to take this piece, I got to do some mods to it. I don't know how we're going to do this. I think we have to cut these receivers off too, because this goes on the back. Yeah, I think it goes somewhere. Oh, okay. So yeah, those are going to get cut off because this sits something like right about here. But yeah, some of this stuff's got to go away because the photo etch will be in the way. So I see why they haven't yet cut it. So, all right, I've got to kind of mark this where it needs to be cut, and then we'll see. I think I put my saw away. I thought I was done cutting, but I guess not. I'm going to pull that saw back out. All those kits, yeah, poor wallet. Yeah, right. Exactly. So this shows, I'm going to draw myself a rudimentary line here where this needs to be cut. So this shows you basically, looks like just below, okay, there is a bevel there. So it looks like just below this line here. This pen sucks, so try something else. I'll just use a razor, fuck it. All right, so I draw a line straight across right there. And then this should go, let's see here, I can get this at an angle where I can adjust this. This should go I need my saw blade. Let me grab that real quick. There we go. All right. See if we can't manage to cut a straight line here. it's about midway. About midway through this. I try to use like reference marks, to kind of see like exactly how this is supposed to. I wonder though, if I put this on here, I think it's just whatever's exposed. So let me snap this on here where it goes, and then I'll see if that's true or not. Sorta. It is beneath this line here, so that didn't work. But at least I can see that even if my cut isn't perfect, it's going to be hidden behind this. So that's good to know. Just pop this back off. And if I have to sand a little bit, I can go ahead and do that later. All right, so I'm just going to lay my saw blade down here to kind of see. Yeah, right about there. Let's see if I can get a straight line going. Nope. It wants to keep shifting on me. There we go. That's pretty good. Like I said, we're only going to go for about an hour tonight because I'm trying to rest. My throat's been. I mean, the other night, not last night, I was finally able to sleep, but the night before, I was just sleeping. Seemed like I was okay, and all of a sudden, I just started coughing. Couldn't stop. Really bad cough, and you just get one little dry spot, one little tickle, in the corner of your throat, and all of a sudden, you just can't stop coughing. It's horrible. So I'm trying to cut through this in a straight line, but the whole thing wants to flex on me, so I gotta hold it in place. There we go. That's pretty good. Not perfect, but I think I can always sand a little bit down if I have to. But it looks like I got majority of the angle right. So let's continue on that line. It's funny, once you get a good groove going, this thing just shoos away with a lot of material really quickly. So let's see if I can manage to hold that line all the way through. It looks like I'm lined up. Come on, stop. The pieces of photo etch are getting knocked around. The stuff that I've got built and staged, I just setting it aside, but almost there. I got through one of the peg holes. Might as well just try to keep that line kind of right in the middle. Can't see. That's the hard part, is I can't see where I'm cutting. That didn't work. Let me get this away from this. It's just getting in the way at this point. All right. Here we go. Top viewers. Getting spammed again by freaking Twitch. Why does Twitch think that I'm interested. See, guys, look. Streamboo.live. Yeah, whatever. I don't want to even give you the time of day. I'm using StreamYard. Stop trying to spam your streaming service. Why can't you just be like normal viewers and watch the live stream? Instead of trying to sell me something. Nope, that's not quite right. It's not in the same spot. Shit. Try to redo that. That's better. Let's see if I can. I'm almost all the way through. I'm just going to come in from the other side and try to. Almost got it. Whoops. Well, that's just a peg anyway. I don't have to worry about that. It's not working out the way I want it to. I'm making a mess of this. Good Lord. I screwed this up. That's all right. I'm just going to go through from this side. The side I did first worked out fine, but the saw keeps deviating off where I'm cutting, and it's there. So then I'm going to have to fix that a little bit, I think. Because this got kind of scratched up, but I think, let me put this back. Oh yeah, this is going to be exposed, so I'll have to fix that. No, maybe not. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I can just sand that real quick. Sand it down. Or do some filling on it, whatever. I got pretty close in the end. It's almost straight across. It's a little bit off, but yeah, I'm probably going to have to add a little bit of some filler here. Gosh, I got really sideways there for a second. I don't know what the hell happened. Let's see if that's going to be seen. So this goes on just like that. Yeah, almost. It is still visible a little bit. I'll fix that too. Yeah, this thing where I must have really deviated off for a second. All I did was just put a line right where I don't want it. So I'll just use some surfacer or some 500. I can get in there and fill that. Shouldn't be a problem. Sand it down. All right, so that was most of that. I'm going to fill that right now. Let me see if I got I think I got surfacer over here. Yep, there it is. Oops, I just dropped my laptop prop. It just fell over. It's like a cooling fan, but I just use it to kind of prop up keep those together. Anyway, I shifted it over to try to get this Surfacer 500 out, and I dropped down dropped the lift angle of the little prop. So I'm just stirring up my Surfacer 500 here. I'm just going to fill these gaps real quick. Some thick surfacer. We'll probably go for another 15 minutes or so, and then we'll call it. Sorry guys, but I'm exhausted. I do have some celebrating to do, but it's been one of those weeks. All these meetings are culminating in this, I finally get the offer letter today, and so that's great, but just all the stress leading up to it is just taking it out of me. I've never had to do some of the things, I never had to do a PowerPoint, never had to do anything like that before. So it was a tough process to get through it. But in the end, there were other people applying, and they had a really rough time of it. So even more so than I did. So they chose me. Okay, I'm just going to let that. What's up, Nigel? Hi, lads, in the chat. Sorry, Master, I'm late. Don't put me in detention, please. Don't worry about it, Nigel. Don't worry about it at all. I'm just kind of sharing that I was successful in my endeavor with employment. I found out today, and I just accepted the offer letter. I start next month. All right. So now that I screwed all those, all those scratches in that, I'm just going to fill that with that 500, and then should be able to sand that down nicely and get rid of that. Okay. So the other piece that needs to be really modified is part of this back section here of the landing gear. So I'm just going to take these. I should be able to. I say should, there we go. Take out these little legs, because a lot of this has to be cut away. You can see this big red area here. This is the tail section here, looking at it this way. From here all the way to here, all of this grill has to be taken out, because there's going to be some photo etch that's going to fold up and make a channel, so it'll look a lot nicer in the end, but it is a pretty decent mod that has to happen. So I'm going to take off most of the stuff that I need. I mean, some of the stuff I can leave alone. Whoa, almost lost that one. Keep everything together so I don't lose anything. So let's see here. This comes apart. Okay, so this back half, there we go, comes apart, and that can stay like that. Fantastic. I knew you would get the new position. Yeah. Well, it was rough, man. I had to do things I've never done before, especially like PowerPoint presentation, all sorts of weird stuff. Man, nerve-wracking to say the least. But I had help, and I owe those guys everything. The guys that helped me. All right. So from here back, it looks like right up to the middle of this, there's a receiving tab here. So that's my line. So all this back here has to be removed. And I think there's actually photo etch that goes up on this side of it and covers up this seam. So I may not have to address the seam. We'll see. I might have a little bit here in the back. But if I'm not mistaken, there's photo etch that goes in there. First things first, I'm going to, I guess, use my saw again, but I'm only going to cut down just a little bit. It shows the line right down the center of this hole. So I'm going to go right behind those two tabs. just down a little tiny bit because it's only this little 1/16 of an inch on the top, and then this whole piece has to be shaved off. I wonder if it'll be easier to pull these apart and do it 1/2 at a time. Actually, you know what, that might, because it's about as thick. The plastic here is about as thick as what I have to take off. So if I shave off this entire top piece, I should be able to use that as a guide, I suppose. I don't know. As long as you show up, chime in, and hit that thumbs up, you will never be late. That's right, Nigel. He's got you pegged. Now I'm nervous about the new job, right? Because it's a whole new experience, something I've never done before. So, I mean, I've mentored technicians. That's not an issue there. And I'm sure I'm overthinking it, but it's just a matter of managing a group of guys now instead of one or two at a time. It'll be 10 techs. And that's going to work out perfect. I think if I just go down to that one line, in fact, I may be able to use a scribe and just follow this using this ridge as a guide. Maybe. It does have some, it does deviate a little bit, so it might not work as well as I was hoping. I might have to just slowly use a file and file it down. All right, well, I've got that too. So I got this guy. This is a really it works great on this plastic, but I'm just going to make sure it's straight. And you know what? I don't know. It's going to take so long. I want to just cut this. I'm really getting tempted to just start cutting. Let's see here. Do that, and then let's see if I can go down this line and trim this off. So all that's got to come away. So let's see. Yep. That's probably the quickest way. If I can get in there, I can separate most of this. I still got to chop the rest off, but at least I can get the bulk of it, maybe by clipping it off with these little clippers here. I can already feel my throat getting a bit scratchy because I'm talking, so I knew it. That's why I said I might just cut this one short tonight, just because I do want to go out and celebrate a little bit, but I also am trying to save my throat. I got to work tomorrow, and it's been really bad with this cold or whatever this is going around. It's funny. I told my friend it's not COVID. It's like everything's COVID, right? Anymore, it's like it doesn't matter what you think it is. There always seems to be some form of some new strain of some crap. But I don't get sick very often, but I sound like the most interesting man here, right? I don't get sick very often, but when I do, I make sure it kicks my ass, and it has been. It's been kicking my butt. All right, I'm going to just go, I think I'm just going to try to use my knife. I have a hobby chisel. I have several. I have lots of those. Would you like to see my entire set, Nigel? Yeah, I know. I'm trying to just figure out how to get in there because it's not just a straight line. There's quite a few little ridges here and there. I've got to remove all of this material here, but I don't want to screw up the surface details in front of it. I want to follow the line. I wasn't sure. I suppose I could try maybe a 0.2. 0.2 seems, well, 0.2, 0.3 might work well. So let's see here. Use this as a guide. And then I can clean it up with a file or a sanding stick. Yeah, I'm just gonna, I think this is gonna work better. Because this will all be covered up with a piece of photo etch. It's like a steel kind of a girder looking piece that's I mean it's molded into the plastic. I can see why they made a photo etch piece to fit it, because it will make this look quite a bit better. It's right below the ramp that goes into the back of the, it's actually part of that loading ramp. Unfortunately, the plastic is soft enough. This is cutting pretty quickly, but also it should, once I get close enough, it should just pop right off. A couple more passes. I will say that the one chisel I have broke one BMC chisel, and it was a 0.2 mil. Because I was doing something like this, and I got kind of jammed up, and I must have twisted it or something, and it just snapped it. That was the one and only time I ever broke a chisel. I don't want to do it again, since they're so hard to come by anymore. So yeah, there we go. Now I can clean up the rest. Got a pretty good chunk of that off. I'll just follow the line, keep on working my way back. We have a couple of good ones. Both are Hasegawa. Oh, Hasegawa makes chisel nuts. Yeah, I've had a hobby tool from Hasegawa. A couple little chisels. I think that's what I started with before I started buying the BMC stuff. The only two I have from USA Gundam Store are the 3.5 and the 4 mil, because I couldn't find those, even though BMC sounds like they make that size, because when you buy one, it comes with a sticker sheet, you know, so you can label your chisel like this with 0.3 millimeter. But it gives you a whole sheet, and they even include 3.5 and 4 millimeter on there. But to this day, I've not been able to ever find any place that sold it. Even the BMC website, you know, the Sujiborido, or however you say that, didn't have it. So when I came across them selling it on the USA Gundam Store site, I was like, all right, I'll buy it. It's two chisels. They're bigger ones. I'm not going to use them for scribing. It's mostly for doing work like this, where you're, you know, chiseling away plastic. But they're actually quite good. They work really well. I was pleasantly surprised by that. The handles are different, though. You can't use the BMC handle with them, because the handles, the extra part of the chisel, that, you know, the base, the shaft or whatever of the chisel is not the same dimensions as a BMC, so the handles won't fit. It's either too, I think they're too small. It just won't tighten down on the USA Gundam Store one. So you have to get their handle. So here's the difference. Like if you look at the USA Gundam handle, here's a 4.0, a little bit narrower handle than the BMC. You see like this. Yeah, see, these are actually pretty fat. The ones from the USA Gundam Store. So, I mean, not much bigger, but a little bit wider, and that's the problem. They won't fit because it's just a little bit wider. But I wonder if they still sell these, or if they're still available. I mean, because I was pretty happy with, I mean, I have been pretty happy with how they perform so far. I haven't tried sharpening one yet. I do have the sharpening tool for all of them, but I haven't needed to sharpen one yet. It'll be interesting to see how that does. If it's how soft. I mean, they can't be terribly soft, but they're good for cutting, like the way they are. So it should be fine. But like I said, I've never attempted it yet. So all right, we're just trimming out the rest of this little strip here that needs to be removed for the photo etch. All right, so now I've got most of that gone. So if we put these back together, you get an idea, you can see. All right, so yeah, so we can see how much taken down if you look through it. So I've got to clean it up, obviously, but it's about a 1/16 of an inch of material all the way across. So now let's do the same thing with this. I think Godhead might make some good ones. Yeah, maybe. I know I used Godhead the tweezers. I love those things. Those are so nice. I've had those for years. These guys right here. These things are amazing. The tip on these is so good. This is the GHPS SH Godhand tweezers. I think they make maybe one or two styles. But years ago, there was a hobby store called Galaxy Hobby out here in Washington, and unfortunately they had to close because the owner of the shopping center wanted to turn it into a gym or something, so they kicked everybody out of their stores. All the locations that were in that strip had to move or close, and they never reopened, unfortunately. So, but this the Asian lady in there, the wife of the owner, she was awesome. She was to get anything we wanted. We asked for her. She'd try to get it for us from Japan, and she got all the Godhand stuff and a lot of these chisels I bought from her. It's pretty cool. She loved helping us out with the hobby stuff we wanted. It should start breaking away here. This side's a little bit different, but once I get this other half off, I can sand it down. It's funny too that for some god-awful reason, the thinner the chisel, the more expensive it is. I don't understand the math on that, but it always, I mean, they're made the same way. I don't know why. It seemed like the thinner you buy one, especially from BMC, I mean, the thinner you buy one, the more expensive it becomes. But if I were to do this, let's see here if I can. Let's see if I can see. Yeah, there we go. Let me see if I can get the wrong direction. Let's go over here. There they are. So there's my set. I got all my chisels from 0, 0.75, 0.1, 0.125, all the way up to 4. The black handles there. It's nice. I use them all. It's nice having them. Unfortunately, I took advantage of getting them before we knew COVID and all that stuff was going to happen. It was just any chance I got to just add to the set, I did. I think I probably bought, the go-to ones at the time, especially for like most of the stuff I was doing then was master grade, Bandai kit. So 0.2, 0.3 was pretty much the panel line thickness of most of those kits. So that was the first two I bought. We're actually over 7. I gotta call this one an evening now. Sorry guys, I do got to cut it short because, like I said, got some stuff ready to do. Plus, I just want to chill before I start coughing too much, because I can't. My throat's just jacked up, just coughing way too much. So we'll make this one last about an hour tonight. I mean, you can hear it. My voice is getting froggy. So anyway, we're going to keep plugging away. I do have all that, stuff going on with the job and stuff, but that's behind me now, some of that. So hopefully I'll be able to commit to a little more time on this, but I do have family coming up in the middle of the month. So there will be a week or two there. It'll be kind of a transition time between the jobs and having the vacation with the family. So there will be maybe a week or two that I don't do a live stream. We'll see, or don't get it. If I do, I won't have much, more done during the week. So we'll see. But anyway, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining in. I know, sorry again, it was a short one, but my camera following me? No, it's green. Sometimes it lights up blue. I was wondering why it was like tracking me or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, what the hell is that? Well, it's not really vacation. I mean, I got family coming up they're visiting from out of state. I'm going to meet my granddaughter for the very first time, which is very cool. And I'm super excited about that. And so, yeah, we're going to spend about a week together. But I think with the new job and everything, it's going to work out nicely, because I'll be able to, in the next 2 weeks, I'll quit, and then I'll have some time off that I can spend with them, and have maybe 2 weeks before I start the new adventure. So it'll give me some time to decompress and get back to business when it comes time to next month. So anyway, as always, guys, I thank you so much. Appreciate each and every one of you. We had Giovanni was in at a ridiculous time this morning at 10 a.m. He popped in the chat, so that's just cheating. But Nick was in shortly after that right at the beginning of the show. Then we had Giovanni jumping in there, and then Julius, of course, and then Nigel. Small group tonight, but hey, appreciate each and every one of you. Love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. And as always, be good humans. We'll catch you in the next one.